What is up, everybody? We are live. I'm Joey. That's Jake. Oh my God, no! I'm so excited for Dragon's Dogma 2, a little showcase that we're doing today for Dragon's Dogma 2. And this is kind of like a little Nintendo Direct-esque presentation for Dragon's Dogma 2. You'll notice that in the background right now. It's something's kind of going, but that's okay. It's no big deal. It's just the pre-show. You'll see at the bottom there. There's a little countdown starting in about 19 and a half minutes. 1945. I don't want Joey. I don't want you to think I'm way ahead of you or anything like that.
Okay, good.
So, right,
You're a little bit ahead of me, but I don't care.
All right, yeah, it's all good.
We're for a fun time.
Exactly. Yeah, we are here for a fun time, and I guess I should tell everybody that I am a big Dragon's Dogma fan. I am so excited for this game. It's definitely one of my most anticipated games of next year. I am a huge fan of the original. I think the original is such like a special, unique, kind of like funky weirdo game, and I am all about it. Joey, where are you at with Dragon's Dogma 2?
I'm. You know, it's funny. I'm one of the people here at GameXplain who's actually played it. I went to a Capcom.
Oh yeah, I forgot, Joey. Oh my God. Okay.
I just want to give a shout out to Aiden in the chat saying, "Oh hey, Joey and Triss." I don't know if they're being facetious, but
pretty good.
Yeah. So I played it. My history with Dragon's Dogma is I remember getting it on PC. I actually got a review code for it back on Nerd Reactor when I worked for that website. And so, oh wait, sorry, Aiden, you're the best. We love you. And I think I went into it with the wrong expectations because I was just like, okay, this is just Capcom's take on Skyrim. It is not like Skyrim. It is a very different sort of medieval fantasy RPG. There is an open world, but it's not really that much about exploring, I would say, as much as like Skyrim is. But I feel like this is more or less it was Elden Ring before Elden Ring. Would you agree with me in saying that?
Yeah,
kind of.
Yeah, definitely. There's definitely some of that there. It has that feeling of kind of just being thrown into an open world and you don't know what dangerous thing is going to be around the corner. So I definitely see that. And for me, it was like, as somebody who, it took me years after Skyrim's launch to really get into it. And this game I got into immediately, and for me it was the action combat. It was the fact that it had this kind of Monster Hunter / DMC inspired action combat system. People that know me, they know I love games where I can choose a class. It's a very simple, stupid thing, but like if I play a game and I'm like, yo, you were a warrior, I was a wizard, that like turns me on for some reason. I just love it. And like playing this game and being like, okay, I'm gonna be a mage, and that means I'm gonna have to play this specific way, totally got me into this kind of game, and I think later made me understand like Skyrim a little bit better. Like later I was like, oh okay, I appreciate what this kind of game can bring. And then years later when I got into Skyrim, Joey, I played Skyrim for the first time on Nintendo Switch. Had the time of my life, dude. Had the time of my life.
Skyrim was made for Switch. That was actually like the console I actually beat Skyrim on. Also, shout out to Kit and Krista for being in that pre-show.
Yeah, I wonder how they scored that. Big Dragon's Dogma fans got that dogma in them? Maybe.
Yeah. So I feel like I need to go back and play Dark Arisen because I don't even know how long I've even played that game. I want to check my Steam library real quick. But yeah, now that I have like the expectations sort of what Dragon's Dogma really is.
Yeah.
I even after having played that preview too. Yeah, I feel like this is something I could easily get into, even though it does have a bit of a learning curve to it. Let me check. Dragon's Dogma. It's right here. I want to see how long I played it for.
Oh, nice. While you're looking that up, I love Dragon's Dogma on Switch. Has a Switch version. I think it's really good there. And it's like always on sale. I think it's on sale right now for like $5. So Nintendo Switch fans, if you're like, hey, I could go for a little bit of a fantasy RPG, action RPG right now. It performs super well on Nintendo Switch. I think it's a great time. I think you should check it out.
That's great. Yeah. And I played 10 hours of it, 9.9 hours. Not like a huge amount of time, but I'm still surprised I played it for that long. It's definitely a game that didn't really click with me at first, because at that point I just wanted another open world fantasy RPG. But this one's very like combat focused. It's sort of got a mix of Shadow of the Colossus in there, where you're of course you can climb on these these enemies, but also like if you get hit, you're gonna take a while to get back up. It's got that sort of level of realism to it. When it's dark at night, when it's dark outside, it is dark. You
Yeah.
cannot see anything unless you have a lantern. So yeah, definitely a sort of it is. I feel like it is relatively niche in that regard. It's not like not everyone can just jump right in, but in your case, you did. You were able to just jump right in and love it right away. But some people, this might take a while to click with, I think.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those games that has like big weirdo energy, and when you start it up, it's a little jarring. It's a little bit like, whoa, you're just throwing me into this weirdo-ness. We have an ad for Resident Evil 4 VR mode, by the way, right now. And
What?
and it ended saying coming this winter. I'm excited for that. That's a PSVR 2 guy, you know what I mean? So just quick sidebar. But
I played the entirety of Resident Evil Village in VR. That was my second run through of the game, and I do not regret it. Obviously, I played the whole thing. I couldn't put it down, Jake.
But a couple of things really quick that I'm seeing in chat. Johnny Denny wants to know: are we getting new games here? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. This is for just Dogma. Maybe there will be some like weirdo Capcom crossover stuff with Dogma, like because Capcom just like likes doing that for some reason. I'm not really sure how they would do that with this particular game, but I could see them announcing something like that. So don't count on any new games. This is just to embrace Dragon's Dogma 2. Steven wants to know, is this coming to Switch? I think absolutely not, but maybe Switch 2. So keep an eye out. You know what I'm saying? We leaked a while ago. We didn't leak it, but it leaked a while ago that the release date for this game, which should be getting announced in this presentation, is March 22nd. I saw that today. That went up on the Steam store page, so it's pretty much confirmed.
Right.
So March 22nd, who knows? By then, next year, we could have a Switch 2 announced, and then maybe they go, hey, and Dragon's Dogma 2, that'll be on the Switch later. So it'll be one of those games. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm sure not to get too much into the whole Switch 2 speculation, but I feel like a lot of third parties are going to want to jump on that Switch 2. I feel like because the Switch 1, if at some point if a publisher doesn't have their game on Switch 1, it's because it's literally impossible to put it on this. Why am I calling it Switch 1?
Switch 1. I just realized that. Like Xbox One, Switch 1.
Yeah, exactly.
I was thinking about that the other day. How the new Mortal Kombat game is Mortal Kombat 1.
Yes.
I think they should follow Xbox, and the next Mortal Kombat should be Mortal Kombat Series X.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
That's the only way. It's the only way, Jake.
Yeah.
Oh, we got Mr. Nutkip asks, does this come out for Nintendo 64 or no? I think there's a possibility.
Yeah.
I genuinely think like the polygons will be compatible with a Nintendo 64 cartridge. Calling it now.
How about that controller? Would you, Joey, could you go back? Could you play with that controller?
Yes. You know what's funny you asked me that because when Tris and Andre and I were talking about Ocarina of Time's 25th anniversary last week, I was saying like I need to actually legitimately play this game on a Nintendo 64 controller. So when I decide to replay Ocarina of Time for like the first time in a while, I'm gonna jump in on Switch Online and play it the way it was meant to be played on that Nintendo 64 controller.
Heck yeah.
I mean, I played it when I first played it front to back, beginning to end. I played it with a freaking classic controller. Remember the Wii Classic controller?
Oh yeah, that weirdo. Yeah, that little.
Yeah, so I'm like, if I can handle it on there, I could handle it on the Nintendo 64 controller.
Joey, I'm seeing the weirdest thing right now, and I just figured out. I think it's Exoprimal. But it's like a Monster Hunter collab.
Is it a Monster Hunter collab?
Man, maybe not. I thought he was using the wire bug from
It looks single player.
Wow, this drew me in, actually. This was on, like, as it was a...
I thought it was
whoa, this looks good. Thing. I think he's wearing, like, Monster Hunter armor.
He's gotta be.
Oh, that was the wire bug. That was 100% the wire bug. So, yeah. So I think they're doing a collab. Exoprimal, a game that's more fun than you think it is.
Yeah, I just feel like it requires a group of people to play with
100%.
For maximum fun.
Why would you stay with it? You know what I mean? It doesn't have those hooks. It's like a fun game, but it has no hook.
Right.
Man, Capcom, man, they got just good stuff out right now. They're like hitting with the Resident Evils, hitting with the Street Fighter, Monster. Man, I feel like that's cool. That's like the Rathalos from Monster Hunter, so he's showing up here. At least I think that's what it is. Embarrassing.
Okay, that's totally Rathalos. Yeah.
Embarrassing if I just threw out a monster name and was completely wrong. But I Man, it kind of makes me think. I feel like we're due for a new Monster Hunter game.
Let me think. Rise was 2 years ago.
Right, it was just 2 years ago.
2.5, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. Man. Okay, we're coming up. I think the Rise came out in March 2021, so we're coming up on that 3-year anniversary. Yep, Exoprimal Monster Hunter. I don't know what exactly is. I was wondering the whole time, like, is this Exoprimal with Monster Hunter or Monster Hunter with Exoprimal?
Yeah. Me too. Oh, that's cool. Oh my God, look at this little thing. Okay, you're gonna catch up, but you can be this little freako, dude. Oh my God, I love this guy. That's a good skin. That's a good skin, Exoprimal. You could be a weirdo Rajang, dude.
Do you remember when Monster Hunter World had a Witcher collaboration?
Yes, that was cool, Joey, actually.
That was so good.
Dude, Monster Hunter World. Good game.
Man, we had a discussion on Monster Hunter, like, I think it was Rise, because it was coming out on next gen or current gen now consoles.
Oh yeah.
And I was saying, like, it's just so tough for me to get into Monster Hunter. It's very tough for me. I always think I want to, and then I do, and I'm just like, this is not clicking with me. And I still have yet to jump in with Rise. I hope it's still on Game Pass, because that would be nice.
I think it is. Rise I kind of felt was the easiest Monster Hunter and the easiest one to get into, and I really liked it. Definitely a top tier Monster Hunter for me. I know some purists really hate like some of the ways in which it sped up the combat and made things easier to recover from, but I actually thought it just made the game more fun. I'm like not out here trying to prove how tough am I, playing Monster Hunter. I'm just trying to have a good time. So I really like that game. Yeah, like the hook shot and everything. It was just like fun to play with my friends. So I'm curious what direction they'll go in for the next big boy, because I assume the next Monster Hunter will look more like World, whereas Rise kind of went in that cartoony way. But
because Rise came out for Switch first, so they had to like tone it down a bit on the realism. I say realism, but like it's still like that definitive. Jake, there's a thing I've been thinking about. This whole debate people have is just like, oh, stylized is better than realistic graphics and stuff like that. I know I'm going on a tangent here.
No, please.
And I'm just sitting there thinking, is there such a thing as a realistic art style? Is there really? Like, I know there's games that aim for realism, but either way, I look at games like Grand Theft Auto 5, which you could say looks realistic. But I don't know, there's something still cartoony about it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, there's still it's like still a style, and it's a choice to it's because you know what it is? It's not that it looks real, but there's a spectrum of reality. And it's trying to get closer on that spectrum to being the thing that you know rather than symbolic of the thing that you know, rather than trying to remind you. But so I hear where you're coming from, but I actually like the more I actually like the stuff that kind of veers more cartoony for Monster Hunter specifically. I think it just reads better when you're like looking at a big monster and it's like parts are like big and chunky and like a little cartoon. Like that just makes sense in my brain. It's like, oh yeah, you're aiming for different parts. Whereas when it's a little more real, everything's a little more contiguous. It's kind of harder for me to, it feels so natural that like when I'm aiming for a leg, it just, I don't know, it all kind of, maybe I'm
totally get that.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, Monster Hunter is so ridiculous too. It's just like you got all these little cat things making you food and stuff. Yeah, it's just like
I love those guys.
Yeah,
Palicos.
I can't imagine playing this game with touch controllers. I'm sorry. Yeah. I don't know. I can't.
No, me neither. That's a weird experience. But the Zoomers are out here doing everything on their phones these. So
that's true.
Yeah. So listen, iPad maybe. Then you hook up a controller. You did that, right?
Yes, I did. I played this at that same preview event. I played Dragon's Dogma, and it was pretty good. It's basically like a PC port of the game. Like you go in there, you can change the settings and stuff, make it look better, look worse, whatever you want, so it runs better. Oh man, I'm still thinking I need to get that iPhone because AT&T is having a really good deal where if I trade in my phone, I can get like the 15 Pro Max.
Oh, there you go.
For $10 a month.
Okay.
And I'm just like, okay. I feel like this is too good of a deal to pass up because if I wait longer, then like my phone's going to depreciate in value,
of course,
and my monthly payment's just going to go up. So I don't know.
No phone gaming for me ever since I got the sweet PlayStation Portal remote playing.
Oh, plug it.
Remote playing my PS5, having the time of my life. All right, chat. We're about 5 minutes away from this presentation starting up. We got a little pre-show running here, just Capcom showing off Capcom stuff. But chat, how's everybody doing today? It's a little Tuesday afternoon. Taking in some Dragon's Dogma. Are you a fan of the franchise? Are you just coming to hang? What's going on today? What are the Tuesday vibes? Let me know in the chat. I'll shout you out.
I can't imagine being in school and or being a kid or being a high schooler and missing like all these streams, because I feel like the target audience, or maybe I'm just getting older and now the target audience is people our age who don't go to school full time, or I know there's people who work full time like at office buildings. It's just like there's so many people not gonna be able to watch this stuff.
Well, in my time zone, the kids are out of school.
That's true. You lucky bastard.
Yeah. So, yo, if you're a kid and you're out of school, sound off in the chat right now, dude. I wanna give a Yahoo to any kids that are out of school right now, because oh my god, it's like the world is your oyster. The second that final bell rings, dear God, go home, play some video games. Man,
I remember being in high school. I was doing theater after I was doing rehearsals most of the school year. So most of my school days didn't get out until 5 or 6, sometimes at the latest.
Wait, Joey,
8.
tell me some shows you were in. What shows were you in?
Okay, in order.
Yeah.
I was in Anything Goes, but I was like an ensemble member.
Awesome.
Yes. And after that, I was in, what was I in? Arabian Nights as a few different characters.
Oh, weird choice.
Okay. Weird choice, right? Yeah. After that, what was I in? Hairspray.
Nice.
I was 2 characters in that.
Okay.
I was the guy who fitted the characters into their new outfits.
Yeah.
And I was also like a producer on that show, and that was in the play.
Excellent.
And then now we get to the juicy years. Juicy years, 11th grade, where I actually start getting cast into important roles. There's no small parts in theater. That's a lie. But no, there isn't. So I was bottom in Midsummer Night's Dream. And I was doing the moonwalk and thriller dances in it because it was like a Vegas twist on it. That was fantastic. And after that, I was in... What was I in after that? Oh, I actually was not in the play after that. I was in another play called I was the lead role in this play, and I won a district-wide theater award for it. The Miser, Paris, Texas. It's based on a Moliere play. Fantastic stuff. Fantastic. And finally, to conclude my high school theater years, I was the Grinch in Seussical the Musical.
Love Seussical, dude. I was the elephant. I was out here.
Yo.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, had to be a little awkward and ugly to be cast as the elephant, but we made it. You know what I mean? That's not the role for the hottie. You know what I'm saying? That's great. That's quite a resume, Joey. I gotta say, I'm out here. I did theater in college, and I feel like I'm super familiar with plays and musicals, and you were just out here spitting shit I'd never heard of. I can't, it is not often that people start naming things, and I have no idea what they're talking about. So I'm really impressed right now. Those were some crazy things. Oh man.
My theater professor, I'm actually going to see him soon. I can't wait to see him again.
Cool.
He and my other theater teacher at the time, they were into that stuff. They were this was their life, and they were just we're not just going to give plays like everyone has ever heard of. We're going to go deep into some obscure-ish stuff too. So yeah.
Dude,
I'm texting my friend right now because my friend who was Horton in Seussical.
No way.
He's probably your biggest fan. So I'm gonna text him. You'll never guess what Jake just told me.
Wow. Oh my god, dude. When I was in undergrad, I was on I was on an acting scholarship. So it stipulated that I had to audition for every show, which was quite a bummer, Joey. Because there were some shows that I would look around and I would go, "What am I doing here?" And I didn't want to be there. I shouldn't have been there. And they would cast me every gosh dang time. I would you're stuck with us, Jake. And I was like, all right, that's.
Let me tell you, Seussical Grinch, the stage time Grinch has in Seussical is probably around 2 minutes.
I was trying to remember. So, I can't even remember what the Grinch does.
He was not an important character at all.
But everybody knows when in that song when it's the Grinch's moment. Everybody knows the Grinch. So it's a moment.
Correct.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. And we didn't really do much hair and makeup. So basically they painted my beard green and that was it.
Yep.
My beard and my hair.
Excellent.
And so that was just what I did. So I spent a lot of time backstage during that play. And you know what? It's just I'm about to graduate. I'm just going to chill back here.
Is it time? Are we starting?
Almost.
Okay, I'm at 30 seconds now. They're talking about
32.
They're talking about the sale that I was talking about. Get it on your Nintendo Switch, guys. It's like $5. You get that first game.
Right.
I love that first game. And if you're friends with me on Nintendo Switch, if you tweet at me, Jake, I got Dragon's Dogma on Switch. I want to be your Switch friend. You can use my pawn. You can use like my little assistant buddy as a party member in your game.
Nice.
All right, chat, let me know if the stream is too loud or too soft or whatever, and I'll fix it. I have no idea. So just be specific when you tell me. Oh my god. I love the scale. The scale of Dogma, dude. Okay.
You get that Dogma in you.
Yes.
Hello everyone, I'm Hideaki Itsuno, the director of Dragon's Dogma 2. I'm the producer, Yoshiaki Hirabayashi. Dragon's Dogma 2 is a narrative-driven action RPG set in an immersive fantasy world designed to place player choice at the heart of the gameplay experience. Today, we'll present you with the latest news on Dragon's Dogma 2. First, check this out.
I will.
Check it out.
I'm ready.
At last! The bell has tolled on the age of the console. The return of the Sovereign.
Welcome, Arisen.
Man, this looks nice. Looks visually nice.
Awaited your arrival.
Oh, the pawns, Joey. The little buddies I was just talking about.
Yes.
Learn all you can of this world you must protect.
I'm a bit concerned that the cutscenes are 60, but the game is like 30. I hate
Oh,
that.
interesting.
The frame rate is just
Yeah.
inconsistent around, so I'm just like, why? What is...
Forth, thou art arisen. Charge and do.
Oh, do the dragons talk?
Oh, yeah, dude. Oh, yeah.
Here's my chance.
If you're discovered, yours won't be the only head that
Medusa.
rolls. What is your purpose here?
When 'twas all but certain that her son would take
I
his
will say the
father's
faces look a lot better than they did in the first game.
word, reach the castle.
Yeah,
that
the
Arisen
faces
had
looking
been
real
found.
nice here.
Pitiable arisen. Why dost thou fight?
Arisen.
Wow, that girl. They zoomed in on that girl. They're like, we have a cutie on our hands. They're like, look, dude, we know we have a cutie.
I'm scared to fight that Colossus.
Oh, man.
Dragon's Dogma.
Fiend came to
Aye.
do what
Yes.
I could not, and fell the dragon true. I would gladly pass all the wisdom I possess into your hands.
Release date reveal. March 22nd, 2020.
How was that? We're excited to
All right,
finally
that's
be
it.
able to
I'm just
reveal the release date for Dragon's Dogma 2.
Give me the crossovers.
First,
Yeah, give me the
let's go
crossovers.
over what
Where
you
is
just
Mega
saw.
Man?
Where's Dante?
Emerging suddenly from the sea, we meet the giant Talos, who
Yes, this
appears
thing
for the
freaks
first
me
time
out.
in this
Man,
game,
that's a cool
and
one.
who you will have to
Yeah,
figure out
there's something in
how
its eye,
to
though.
stop. We've prepared some additional gameplay footage
Oh,
of Talos,
I
so
like that.
That was
take a
cool,
look.
yeah.
Hit it in its nipple.
I think a big thing happening with this game right now is that they're showing, at least I think they're showing, that this like has a big budge. Like it feels like a full AAA production, you know?
Turn the stream audio up.
Turn the stream audio up.
That's the note I just got.
Okay, thank you, Joey.
You're welcome.
We shall halt it together.
Get it.
It seems to me there are plenty of places our feet might find purchase
Oh, you
on
can
its
fly
hulking
on these
prey.
dudes?
Oh
What?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Let us do.
Hey, Fawn, how you doing?
When you have a grab button, you gotta use it.
Right.
It's better than watching on in
Oh yeah,
despair.
stab him, dude. Oh, nice. Whoa.
A puppet with a penchant for destruction is a nuisance.
Oh, Johnny, are you
asked
saying
for.
this game's coming out the same day as Princess Peach Showtime?
Indeed.
Is that the same date, March 22nd?
I don't know. Let me check.
Okay.
I'm gonna fact check this.
See, we got somebody over here being like an archer. I love this kind of stuff, man. Just like choose how you
Okay.
want to play.
Yeah, I need to be an archer, I think.
Yeah.
Because I didn't get to play the archer that much during my preview, but I was just like, okay, this is good.
Yeah.
This is really good.
So fun, dude. Just having a little third-person shooting game. So fun.
As you can
Oh,
see,
yep, same day as
you'll be
Princess
able
Peach
to enjoy
Showtime.
a
Nice.
variety of combat experiences depending
It's a new
on how you
Barbenheimer.
choose to tackle each situation. Keep your eyes peeled for more on Talos and its role.
It's a roll.
Does Talos have a principal, though?
Dragon's Dogma is a tale of the Arisen, whose heart is taken
Oh,
by the
Khajiit
dragon.
has no wares.
While this sequel mirrors the world setting of the first game, the adventure takes place in a parallel world. Vermund is the human kingdom,
What does that mean exactly?
where you will be drawn into
Is that
the
their way of
power
saying it's like a
struggle
reboot?
for the throne.
I guess.
Yeah.
To have her son take the throne, the Queen Regent Disa plots to set a false Arisen. But why are pawns serving a false Arisen? On the other hand, the Beastren nation of Batal
Why are they?
treats
You tell
pawns
me.
as the source of misfortune, and instead worship the lambent flame to ward off calamity with Empress Nadinia at its center. Both kingdoms recognize the dragon as a threat, but their thoughts towards pawns and the Arisen differ. What will happen to the player caught between the beliefs and plots of these two nations? You can learn more about some of the game's intriguing characters on our official website.
Dude, classic fantasy
So,
RPG
check it
thing,
out.
making you just like choose between two sides, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
In addition to the main quest line, you can talk to the
that, Orlando
inhabitants
Bloom?
of this world to receive various quests and deepen your relationship with them. For instance, let's look at this quest where you need to befriend some elven siblings.
Little brothers.
Forgive me. You do
Are
not
they speaking
speak
Elvish?
Oh, okay. They did it.
From
They were
this
doing a
moment
bit.
forth,
Thank God.
So long as you remain by my side, I shall interpret for you.
Cool.
Nenwen mor Iwanon. Alcarwa firnun eldaya menelume sur caril. Martir fa nun fionor. Minas vena era
Didn't Tolkien invent
My
Elvish?
friend, if e'er I have had
I
need
don't
to
know.
call
I
upon
need to
your
look into
aid,
this.
'tis now.
This
I
is
beg
fun.
of you
Okay,
to
so
join
the
me in
little
my
side
sister's
quest
rest.
is go rescue my daughter from an ogre. Do you think it's
Shrek?
Yeah.
That would be a crossover for the ages.
Do you think the daughter is
Fiona?
Fiona?
Fiona's an elf?
Is this just Shrek?
The ogre while my sister is clutched in its fist, but there is still hope if I act quickly. Listen well, friend. I shall strike the beast's arm while my father holds its attention.
Whoa.
This is as much as I can show you for today.
Stick to the plan, man.
Hopefully, you'll find the rest of the quest on your own. In the footage, you can see the Sacred Arbor, which is an elf settlement. The elves there communicate in their own language. And while the Arisen doesn't understand the language of the elves, if there's a pawn nearby who does, they will automatically
Very
translate
weird
it
they're not
for
calling
you.
it Elvish.
These specializations that
Just say
pawns
it.
can acquire will make each of them more unique.
Cool.
And hopefully, more enjoyable to journey with.
Yeah. You find a cool pawn, it's got a cool perk. You don't want him to die.
Yeah.
It's not only the pawn's personality
Here we
that
go.
reflects the player. Just like in the first game, the player can freely create the Arisen and the main pawn. However, we've used photogrammetry technology
Stealth Shrek 5
to
reveal,
increase
Draco said.
photorealism. while adding a way to simplify the process.
People
of
really
creating
liked the
characters.
character creator in the first game.
Selecting
at the
images
time.
that resemble the kind of look you have in mind provides a more intuitive
remember
way
being
to create
very,
your ideal character.
Not that detailed, but I don't know. The more detailed you make your character creator, the more
Now,
interest
I want to
you lose
introduce
from
the
me.
trickster,
Right.
a new vocation that's
Whoa,
sure to bring something
trickster
unique
class?
to your gameplay experience. Exclusive to the Arisen,
Yo.
the trickster is a
can
vocation
finally be
that
Loki.
wields the sensor and uses the smoke it produces to conjure illusions.
Whoa, this is crazy.
By confusing the enemy into fighting themselves through illusions, or increasing the power of pawns beyond the normal parameters for a
Weird
limited period of
cut
time,
in the
this vocation focuses on supporting use
dialogue of
unique
the stream there.
strategies. The trickster is a devious vocation that takes advantage of the enemy's enhanced behavior AI.
Whoa.
It's a great fit for players who prefer to step back from the action and manipulate the battle from the sidelines.
It's crazy that your pawns can't have that class. I feel like that makes you want to choose it even
Next,
more, because if
we
you
have
don't
a
pick
few
it, you'll just
additional
never see it.
details to share.
Right.
Pre-orders for Dragon's Dogma 2
What are
on
these
PlayStation
details?
5, Xbox Series X, Xbox
Okay,
Series
cool.
S, and Steam start today.
Oh, I'm so excited for this. God.
In addition to the standard edition, a deluxe edition will also be available. The deluxe edition includes additional items such as a special camping kit, along with other items that will help you prepare for your journey. Pre-orders
does
of the
this
standard
camping kit
edition
do?
will
Does it,
include
like-
bonus weapons for each of the 4 vocations
I feel that
available from
Capcom
the
is
start
bad
of
at
the game.
deluxe editions. Just
And
I've
pre-ordering
seen
the
that
deluxe edition
before.
will give you access
So,
to all the
just something to
bonuses
keep
of the
in mind.
standard edition, plus
Yeah.
access to additional accessories that can be equipped in game.
Joey, the One Ring.
I hope you'll consider
No
pre-ordering.
way.
Yes. No, it's just a ring. I don't know.
It looks like the One
So,
Ring.
what did
Okay,
you
so they're
think?
not saying the language is Elvish. They're not
The
calling
development
the Ring
team
of
is
Power.
currently making final
or the One
adjustments
Ring.
to Dragon's Dogma 2. We're all doing our best and hope you can wait a little longer until the release of the game. Before we go, let us show you some footage of the monsters we couldn't cover today. The Drake and the Doulahan, along with the Warrior and Sorcerer vocations, which were also in the first game.
It's very hard for me to not be a sorcerer.
Thank
I gotta
you
be honest.
so much.
I love magic. Yes. Okay.
You're welcome.
See, this is all I really want. I just want some straight gameplay.
Winging it. I don't know. Isn't it counterproductive to fight a dragon with fire?
Yeah, I agree. That was not the right move. Okay, whoa. Dog is getting himself in good position right now.
Ooh. Stabby.
And you gotta kind of play this game. It might be hard to tell, but like where you can kind of like tighten your grip on the monster versus just like always attacking it so you don't get thrown off.
Oh yeah. Jay's Funko favorite asks, "Are you guys picking up this game in about 3 months?"
I definitely am, no question.
I'm still thinking about it.
Yeah. Oh
Maybe
my
I gotta
god.
go back and play Dark Arisen again.
Dude, this enemy's like a Bloodborne enemy.
Oh, for real. Remember Bloodborne?
Yeah. Okay, show me some cool spells. Oh, yo, these two wizards teaming up right now to do a big fire spell? What is going on? Nice.
Love it. Ooh.
Okay, cool. That's what I'm about. That's what I'm about in this game.
Dragon's Dogma.
Oh, and now we're getting that sweet ad for the sale of the original. Love the original. Play it on Nintendo Switch. $5.
Yes, Aiden, it's on sale. Pick it up if you haven't already.
Tweet at me if you get it. You can use my pawn. He'll carry you through the game. My pawn is I based him around Gritty, by the way. So
will he hit that Gritty?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, there you guys have it. Dragon's Dogma 2 is coming March 22nd, 2024.
Oh, post-show.
Yeah.
So excited. Hopefully it's a little bit sooner than people were speculating, but you know.
You have no idea how much I was waiting for a release date for this
so
game.
It's a little bit
Every
sooner
time we
than
post
I was
anything online,
speculating, at
everyone's
least.
just like release date.
It's so funny. This game was played for a while at Tokyo Game Show
Yeah.
and like other preview events, but they didn't have a release date yet. So I'm just like, it's got to be soon.
Yeah, you were right. I remember I asked you, and you were like, "It seems pretty close to me," and that really titillated me at the time.
Yes.
So great. So that was the Dragon's Dogma presentation. I thought it was a little light on content. I thought this was a little strange. I'm not entirely sure why we did a presentation in November that was for this game right now. You know what I mean? But I guess the thought process was we were going to reveal the release date and pre-orders. So why not make an event out of that? And Capcom kind of a show of goodwill that they care about this game. I think it almost feels like the presentation was like missing an entire segment.
Right.
You know, like almost like a live demo kind of like explaining some mechanics. They didn't really do that. And I thought it was strange that the side quest, they were like, okay, here's the premise, but we're not going to show it to you. Like that seemed like it should have just been shown fully to, you know.
I don't understand it either. What was it? Steven asks, I'll buy the Switch version right away. Does it run well on Switch?
Yeah. It runs really well.
Right.
Really.
I'm sure it's not like it's not like 60 FPS or anything, but as long as it's stable, right?
Yeah, I don't know if it's 60 frames per second like anywhere. It's kind of an old game. So it's I don't even think it was a PS4 game. I think it was a PS3 game, right?
It started as a PS3 game, but Dark Arisen got released on everything.
Oh, okay, great. Well, then there you go. I don't know. But yeah, so I never even checked. I played so much on Switch. So I had the time of my life. Really liked it.
Very good. They're still showing some gameplay too, so that's good.
I put the okay, you're live with the stream. I actually went back. But yeah, I mean, I think every time I look at the game, I think it looks really nice. I just think like a presentation to primarily show off like what seemed like a story trailer, I think is a little weird because you can just put that story trailer out. Yeah, and I think that's probably a better way to watch a story trailer. You know what I mean? You don't have to deal with like the stream quality or anything. But I gotta say, as somebody who was fully convinced that Capcom would never come back to Dragon's Dogma, like it just wasn't worth it for them, it is kind of crazy to see this game. And it's not like a remaster or a remake. It's not like a B-tier Capcom game. It feels like it's getting just as much love as other big Capcom games get. And it is what I want from the combat in a game like this. Like it is like it does have, they even said it, like the different gameplay styles depending on how you want to approach playing the game. The pawn system I think is actually really fun and intuitive, and it's not something that I really know like any other game that does something like that. So I guess I'm just excited to have like a modern Dragon's Dogma game that like fully utilizes like the power of my PS5, like as silly as that is. That's kind of all I'm looking for.
Yeah, and speaking of power, the only thing that really concerns me right now is how optimized it is. I know this is all development build footage, but that trailer fell all over the place. Like the cutscenes were like a smooth 60, but the gameplay was dropping down like to 30. Like, and that's
if not less. Yeah, if not less.
Yeah, so I'm just like, it's very bold that they're putting this footage out there for all to see, but it still looks, the game still looks fun for what it is. I just really hope like I wonder how long like the game's not gold yet, obviously.
No.
They still got some time to, but I really hope they spend time, even delay it, like if you need to like iron out those kinks, because I really want to play like a smooth Dragon's Dogma game, even if it's not like full 60, like just a smooth 30 or something would be very beneficial. And it's clearly using the RE engine. Capcom
definitely.
That's all Capcom uses now, and it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I've been thinking so much about that and how like there must be so much institutional knowledge at this point with the RE engine and Capcom. I wonder if it's so they're so comfortable with it to the point that like teams that would normally not work on each other's games, because they're now all being made in this engine, maybe they can like share development talent a little bit. And I wonder if that has played a role in Capcom's kind of like renaissance over the past several years. Just having this pipeline that seems to really work for them. But yeah, you know what? In the past, I think I've been very charitable with development footage, and I've seen it chug, and I always kind of assume, well, the last thing you do on any game is polish and tighten up stuff like this performance. And I think and I got to tell you, maybe I've been too charitable in the past, because I've been, in the past couple of years, I have been burned by games that have not come together in the end when I thought that they would. So I'm going to join you here. I'm going to join you here in voicing that concern. It will be really disappointing if I see no reason why this game can't have like a performance mode that's at 6. I think that should be I expect that on my PS5 at this point. If that's not there, it's a talking point. Remember when that was revealed? Listen, this game obviously had other problems, but remember when that was revealed for Gotham Knights that it was a 30 frame per second game? That discussion hurt that game, and I think it hurts games when it comes out that is the case, and I think it helps games when it comes out that they have these modes so you can choose how to play, and maybe there's even a 120 frame per second mode. I know some games have that now. Yeah, so really hope to see that here.
I really hope so too. Like, even if it means delaying it, but you got to think, like, because they didn't even show off a release date for this game until now, and that's that the game is already playable. So you got to think they're pretty much almost done with like just the game being in a playable state.
Yeah,
I would feel like.
Yeah,
and
I would
then
think
like this next few months optimization.
Yeah. So hopefully it's content complete right now, and it feels like they have so much time. It feels like I wonder if there was a fiduciary duty to get this game in before the end of the fiscal year for some reason.
Nice Easy Allies reference.
Is that a thing?
Oh yeah, it was a thing on Easy Allies for a while. I feel like they were saying, "What's your fiduciary duty?"
Oh, okay. I mean, that's a real term, you know.
I know it's a real term, but I never hear it anywhere else. I have never anywhere else.
Because I think a lot of the times, if a game comes out like mid to late March or whatever, I do kind of assume like, all right, I think this is for the shareholders, baby. Like, so it's always something I kind of keep in the back of my head. But I think the thing that really surprised me about this presentation actually was at the end, they just slipped in that there was this all new vocation. I actually thought, I don't know why I thought this, but I thought that they were actually, maybe it was based on your demo, that they were actually paring back on the vocations. And it was like, okay, you start off and there's only 3, the warrior, the mage, and the ranger. And I don't know why I had that in my head. And then they're like, oh, here's this completely new one. Where did that come from?
I'm not sure. And it was such a nonchalant deal too. It's just like, oh yeah, there's a new vocation. Yeah. Here it is. And I'm like, wait, what?
And I do wonder if there is, maybe I'm just messing up the terminology, because there are like vocations or like classes that you can combine with yours later that you get later in the game. So maybe it's one of those and I'm just confused and it's not like a starting class, because I know there are a bunch of those. I know that, and that's part of the fun of the game is then when you level up and all of a sudden you go, okay, now I've got this completely new skill tree that I can combine with the skills that I do have. Really cool thing in the first one for sure. But yeah, okay, let me hit chat really quick. Okay, so yeah. We've got some people saying that's a good deal. Switch version runs good. $5 is a steal. Definitely. It's also on sale on Xbox. Also include. Oh, that's true. They just added it on PlayStation Plus Extra, so it's in that game library now. So if you have that, you don't even have to pay a cent, baby. And then I like seeing Aiden tweeted at me about this, so we've been talking. But Aiden's just saying that they're, primarily a Nintendo person, but they've been thinking a lot about wanting to branch out, play other kinds of games, different types of games that haven't historically been on that platform. I think that's so cool. And you have a game like this, such a weird, unique, different game. Definitely something that is, I feel like anybody that plays this is expanding their horizons.
For real. Yeah, and Andrew Prime says, do you think Dragon's Dogma 2 will be on Switch 2? And we talked about this earlier in the stream too. And I feel like, yeah, it could be, especially because the first one is on Switch currently. Right. And I was just saying, like, Switch 2, I feel like a lot of third parties are going to try and jump on that Switch 2 the hype train once it's like revealed, because I feel like if publishers are not putting their games on the current Switch right now, it's because they are not physically like able to, because of the hardware restraints. So yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, I also think like Capcom and Nintendo are like besties at this point. And I think the Switch 2 will actually be really lucrative for that relationship specifically. Like out of almost all the third parties, maybe Square as well. I feel like they're really buddy lately. But yeah, I feel like Capcom could do some crazy stuff on Switch 2. I wouldn't be surprised if like Street Fighter 6 made its way over there.
Right.
That would be cool, man. Exciting stuff. Sweet Switch 2.
Very exciting stuff. Yeah. Man, I feel like we're getting to that time where we got to start doing like Switch 2 speculation videos, Jake.
Yeah.
I feel like we got to get there at some point.
Oh my God. No, I'm just like, because this is the time right now where we don't know anything about it. So it's really like, sky is the limit. Like there's nothing controlling the discussion, and I kind of appreciate that because it lets us really go where we want to go. Zombie in the chat wants to know, so Jake, how do I get to use that pawn? Okay, here's what you do. You got to tweet at me that you got Dragon's Dogma on Nintendo Switch. You got to add me to your friends list. So just tweet at me and I will tweet. I guess maybe I should just tweet my Nintendo Switch friend code. I don't know. What's the best way to do that? How do I get these people in here? Just tweet at me that you got Dragon's Dogma. I will reply with my friend code. How about that?
Good idea.
Okay, cool.
Great idea. All right, cool. Any final thoughts on Dragon's Dogma 2 before we close this stream?
Yeah, just right now, on my stream replay, I've got the deluxe edition here. Don't do this anymore. Don't do this. People, don't do this. All right. Just again, as I said earlier, Capcom, I think, has a history of bad deluxe editions. I feel like the Monster Hunter ones are always a joke. Specifically, I'm like, yo, you're giving me like a half-eaten banana, like big freaking whoop. So they're like, so I say don't go for this, but I'm really excited for this game. I'm gonna be there day zero,
Yes.
and I want to play a sweet wizard. I want to see what magic spells I can get going on, and man, I'm just excited for it. And I know it's kind of silly for me to be like, I don't think this presentation was that good, but I am still really excited for this game. That's kind of where I'm
right.
at. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Oh, before we go, Lucas asked a question. If Switch 2 is next year, is there a chance it's at the Game Awards? Now we're getting to some Game Awards prediction territory, but I know Series X was announced at the Game Awards, but Nintendo wouldn't do this here. They wouldn't do it at the Game Awards. They would do it on their own time. I don't know how they do it, whether it be through a direct or they did it like this. Come see the future of Nintendo tomorrow morning or something like that. But yeah, not at the Game Awards. I do hope Nintendo is at the Game Awards in some significant capacity, though.
We will see.
Like, yeah, they were kind of there last year and somewhat, at least more significant than 2021, where they did nothing. So yeah, we'll see.
We'll probably have that soon. Some Game Awards predictions, discussions, things like that. Because we're coming up on now is a week from Thursday is the show. And of course, I will be there. So if you're watching the Game Awards at home, look out for me in the crowd. I will be the extremely good-looking one.
Oh,
one there, baby. That's right.
My friend Alan is going to be there, and he's going to try and dress up as Alan Wake.
Nice. Okay. For some reason, I thought you were going to say he's going to try to dress up as you, and I was like, what? All right. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. This was a little Dragon's Dogma 2 presentation. Capcom, if you're looking for people that love Dragon's Dogma, want to talk about it, please get it. Email me yesterday, all right? You got Kid and Krista on this pre-post show thing when you could have me? What is going on, Capcom? Come on! All right, thank you everybody for tuning in. We'll see you next time.